What's up, guys? Welcome to Talking Pigskin Week 6 edition. As always, I'm your host Kishwar, and last week I only went 2-3 with my picks. Granted, Sam Darnold didn't play, and I did say if Darnold were to play, Jets would have won, and he didn't. So I did mention they had no chance. But because I'm an honest man, I'll take that as an L. Surprisingly, the Colts beat the Chiefs. That was a shock to me, and the Cowboys lost at home to Packers. But it's all right, Some weeks are not going to go in your favor. But let's see how I do this week. Let's start with the Jets hosting the Cowboys. And we have our boy back. Yes, number 14, Sam Darnold, has been finally cleared to play. And he will be under center come Sunday, 4:25 at MetLife Stadium. I will be there alongside with my wife. I cannot wait to be there to celebrate my birthday, as well as to see the Jets finally get on the win column this season. Yes, we're 0-4. Yes, the season has not started the way we have liked to as Jeff fans, but it's going to change on Sunday. Sam Darnold changes the entire mindset of this team. All the offensive players will be up and ready to go for him, especially Le'Veon Bell, Jameson Crowder, and crew. On the defensive side of the ball, we may not get C.J. Mosley back, but we will have Jordan Jenkins and Quinnen Williams back. And the defense has been playing very good, actually. If you think about it, without CJ, they only gave up 14 points last week, and they held their own against the Browns Monday night. So the defense is not to be a big concern. But against the Cowboys, where Dak looked pretty much hapless in three quarters of the game last week, they will look to bounce back. They're on a 2-game losing streak. Yes, Dak, Zeke, Cooper, they're going to come out hungry. But I think with the atmosphere that MetLife will have on Sunday in a 4 o'clock game with Darnold under center, it's going to go in Jets' favor. I think the Jets in a huge upset against the Cowboys on Sunday. Let's move on to the other games this week. We have the Houston Texans traveling to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. Now, I always used to think that Arrowhead was like CenturyLink Fuel, like as the Seahawks, where they would never lose. But all of a sudden, Colts go down there, played ball control offense, and took out the Chiefs. Yes, Mahomes' ankle was a little rolled up, but I think he'll be ready to go. The Texans coming off a huge game against the Falcons where they dropped almost 50 points, and maybe even more than that. They will be looking forward to do the same. Deshaun Watson's having a great year. DeAndre Hopkins, Will Fuller, and then the rest of that offense has been clicking. Mahomes may get Tyreek Hill back. I'm not exactly sure yet. But this is going to be an offensive shootout. Both Texans' defense is good, but not good enough to stifle the Chiefs' offense, unless they follow the Colts blueprint and use Duke Johnson and the other running backs constantly to keep Patrick Mahomes off the field. But I think at home, Chiefs bounce back and they'll take care of the Texans. Moving to the next game, we have the Philadelphia Eagles traveling to Minnesota to take on the Vikings, who finally put it together last week. Adam Thielen, Kirk Cousins finally got on the same page. Dalvin Cook wasn't a big factor, but he will be good at home. The Eagles coming off against the win against the Jets. We can't say much of it because they played a basically JV team because the Jets were just not at full strength. The Eagles, Carson Wentz is having a pretty good year thus far. Jordan Howard, Miles Sanders has been good with the ball, running the ball. Alshon Jeffrey, Nelson Aguilar, not sure what the status is on Deshaun Jackson. But the Eagles' offense has been clicking. The defense has been solid as well. I think this will be a very defensive game, but I think Vikings at home have the edge, so I'm going to give it to Minnesota Vikings. Moving on to the 4 o'clock game where the 49ers, 4-0 49ers, will host the Los Angeles Rams, who are also on a 2-game losing streak. This will be a very tough game at the Coliseum for the Niners. I think with everything that's going on with the Rams, they're going to look to bounce back. Cooper Kupp is having a great year. Todd Gurley hasn't been terrible himself. Jared Goff needs to cut down those turnovers. I think he's leading the league in turnovers alongside Matt Ryan. I think he needs to turn it down. That defense needs to wake up. Aaron Donald cannot be the only player playing all the time. But facing an undefeated team in Garoppolo and that offense who's been clicking on all cylinders, it's going to be very hard to slow them down. The Niners defense, you got to speak of Nick Bosa and how well he played that night on Monday night against the Browns. It's going to be a very entertaining game, but I think the Rams will finally hand Niners their first loss of the year. And at home, it'll be a close game, and I think Jared Goff will pull it off. And next and last game we have is the Monday night game where the Lions will travel to Lambeau to take on the Packers. Now, Aaron Jones had a huge game, and I have him in fantasy, and despite his huge game, I still lost because I was facing Russell Wilson and Philadelphia Eagles defense. But the Green Bay Packers have a running back, guys, and he was here to stay. For years, they struggled in that position with Eddie Lacy and others, but now they actually have a true number one running back. Devontae Adams, I think he will be good to go. I think he missed that out last week. Valdez Scantling and Jerome Allison, they all need to get going in the offense because Rodgers hasn't been playing lights out. He's, at the end of the day, still number 12 Aaron Rodgers, but he hasn't been the true point scorer that he is. On the other side, you have Matthew Stafford, who's coming off a bye week. The Lions are having a decent season themselves. They're 2-1-1. The defense is playing well, but I think going to Lambeau is going to be a difficult task for them, and I just don't think they can keep up with the Green Bay offense. I think Green Bay at home on a Monday night game, they will finally get rolling, and I think they'll take the victory. So there you have it. We have the Jets, the Chiefs, the Vikings, the Rams, and finally the Packers. Let me know what you guys think of these picks. Like, comment, subscribe, share, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Talking Pigskin. Look forward to talking to you guys there. So, see you then. Have a good night.